coming down on the price, which you'll see a lot of our competitors will do. We even have customers that'll leave other jewelry stores, walk in here, and then the other jewelry stores call them again and taking another $1,000 off the price. Well, what was the real price?
It's different at IDC because there's nothing to hide. No pricing games, no tricks, no old school ridiculous margins.
We look at overall volume. We're not looking at trying to make this huge profit.
It's all about putting you first and respecting your intelligence.
So coming here at IDC, you're going to get the best merchandise at the best prices, and you're going to get the best experience.
International Diamond Center, 4 Orlando area locations. Online at shopidc.com.
The thing about the Home and Auto Bundle from Progressive is that by now you've heard a lot of ads about the Home and Auto Bundle from Progressive. We don't even need the words the Home and Auto Bundle anymore to tell you that you could save big with the ring-tailed lemur from Progressive, or that every hot peach cobbler comes with round-the-clock service and protection. And that's the thing about the goat with magic powers. You've heard a lot of ads about the sushi in Vancouver. See how much you could save with the Home and Auto with the Shaman in the Jungle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Does learning a language feel like this?
No habla español? Hablo. It's hablo? Yes. It's hablo.
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
Since my husband is from Guatemala, I'll apply what I've learned in Babbel to our real-life situations.
The app is so easy to use and it's so practical. It helps you learn things that you will actually need.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
If you've got a smart speaker, you've got us. Just say, play 96.9 The Game on iHeartRadio. WJRR HD2 Cocoa Beach. We are football. We are FM 96.9 The Game.
Time to put the pedal to the floor. It's loud and live and local. Oh, time for open mic.
Happy Monday, everybody. We are live. We are live. We are local. Every morning at this time, 6 to 9:30 a.m. on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, HD 101.1-2. That's how you can listen to us terrestrially. You can also find us on social media. You can watch us live and in color. Just go to YouTube, search for the Open Mic live stream, and there we are. There I am. There is Mike Bianchi, the Bulldog sports columnist of the Orlando Sentinel. Adam Reardon, the Deceptive Intellect. You can see him as well. Austin Pastolka, the man we call the Sultan of Sound.
Yeah, that's right, Mike. Man, I go away for one day, you disrespect Nebraska, and I pull in the prizes, baby. We're giving away 2 prizes today. A pair of tickets to the Rays and A's game for tomorrow, and a $50 gift card to Bonefish Grill.
Let's do an early bird prize, maybe at 6:15.
Listen, it pays to listen early. You're getting a $50 Bonefish Grill gift card coming to you here real quick. Bonefish Grill, wood-grilled seafood specialties take the spotlight at Bonefish Grill this spring. Enjoy decadent new seasonal fish dishes like Rockefeller Butterfish featuring Alaskan black cod topped with creamy spinach and jumbo lump crab. Visit bonefishgrill.com to view the whole menu, and we are giving away that gift card. Next segment.
All right, next segment. Also, we have a Magic Lakers ticket giveaway to tonight's game, a 4-pack. If you head to our Instagram account at 96.9 The Game, you can see that ticket giveaway. You can also find it pinned to the top of the 96.9 The Game Twitter account as well. As always, we have your chance to win $1,000 3 times per day, starting at 7:10 a.m. That's compliments of International Diamond Center. Those are the giveaways. Kelly Velez, the Prince of Production, back in studio this morning, training for a job on open mic. Kelly, say hello.
Holding it down today. Good morning, y'all.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Listen, Friday went very well. I'm not going to lie to you.
Did it?
It went well.
Are you trying to kick me out already?
Well, it's not even that. I try to keep the spirit alive. We played a couple sound clips and all that. Try to make it seem like you were here, but it's good to have you back.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
By the way, before we get started, can I make an observation? I don't know if you guys can see the video stream or not, but we saw you today, Mike, you do a hit on Mondays on Fox 35. Mm-hmm. We saw you on there. We were watching. We were really proud. Look at there he is. That's Mike Bianchi. And then I noticed something.
What?
I said, let us see if that's Mike's I've got a TV interview collared shirt that he's wearing right now. And whether or not when he shows up to the radio show, he's taking off the collared shirt that he just put on for the TV hit and then just goes, Bellevue High School football. Did Brady Ackerman send you a shirt?
Ack sent me that. Yeah.
Brady Ackerman sent you a shirt. Okay, so you're representing. So now I feel a little bit bad that I'm calling out. I said, lock of the century. I said, Mike just wears that shirt for the TV hits, and then we're going to get like a 1984 Final Four.
SEC championship game, 1992.
I gotta say,
look what it says on the back. Look what it says on the back of Axe T-shirt that he sent me. I'll turn around right now.
As he turns around for folks in Radio Land, I'll read it for you. Embrace the grind.
Oh, there it is. Incredible.
Hashtag something or other.
Mike, I thought I was walking through your closet yesterday. My wife and I went to the vintage market at Ace Cafe, and I could have swore every single one of these T-shirts was in your closet.
I bet I could sell my vintage collection of T-shirts and sweatshirts for a lot of money.
Absolutely, you could.
How much are they charging for shirts out there? I'm thinking garage sale, like $1.
Between $5 and upwards of $40.
$40 for a used shirt?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Crazy.
Unbelievable.
Hell, I needed that noise on that.
We have a Game Balls and GoofBalls Monday. You can start texting those in to 50857. You can also give us a call, 407-916-8255. You can tweet us at 969 The Game. You can text us on our Academy Sports and Outdoors text line, 50857. Our open mic early morning inspirational quote of the day from the great Sheryl Sandberg, who once said, and I quote, "If you're offered a seat on a rocket ship, don't ask what seat, just get on." End quote.
Dogecoin, baby. To the moon.
That was last week.
Oh, right.
That I would say that means, listen, when you're given an opportunity to advance yourself, okay, when you have an opportunity to, become better or be a part of something great. Don't ask whether or not you're going to be in charge. Don't ask whether or not how it's going to necessarily benefit you in the here and now, the immediate moment. You want to know. You don't want to know what seat you're on. You just want to make sure that you're on the flight to wherever that rocket ship's going. So you just got to be ready to sit on that ship and then take advantage of wherever it takes you.
Seize the moment. Carpe diem. All of that.
It's all in a state of mind.
Yeah, it's all in a state of mind. The Magic are not in a good state of mind right now. Can things get any worse? They lose their fifth straight game yesterday. They got blown out 131-112 by the Pacers. Worse yet, their coach, Steve Clifford, has COVID, and they suffered another devastating injury yesterday. Magic guard Davin Kennedy, who, he's the one who led the Lakeland Magic to the G League championship. He was the MVP of the G League playoffs, and yesterday, good Lord, he's contesting a layup by Pacers forward Edmund Sumner. He lands awkwardly on his right leg, and oh my God, a gruesome injury. He broke his ankle with 3:09 left in the first quarter. Here's what it sounded like.
Here they come right back at you. Sumner on the drive. And a foul on Kennedy, and he grabs his right leg. Now they've got him up on the stretcher. And a crowd of about 4,000 in the Amway Center. Everybody's on their feet to salute Devin Kennedy.
Well, again, we're not from where we are. We can't diagnose the injury and everything, but we assume broken bone or something like that. There's so many instances in our league of guys, recovering from major injury like this across the way. Karis LeVert, kind of the same thing a couple of years ago. We saw Paul George, Gordon Hayward, just some names that come off. So this is not the end for Devin Kennedy. It's just disappointing for him, I know.
Sad. That was David Steele and Jeff Turner, but just sad. But it was so bad that Mo Bamba immediately took off his jersey, covered Kennedy's leg before the team training staff and medical personnel got out there. Again, bad injury, and this is a kid who worked his way up to the NBA. Signed a 10-day contract, then did impress coaches enough that he signed another contract. All right. So sad that Devin Kennedy gets injured like that. Here was Magic interim coach Tyrone Corbin, who was taking over for Steve Clifford, who again has COVID.
It's hard, man. I mean, it's hard. You see the reaction from his teammates, and it was tough for them to get back on the floor and finish the game. Actually, after it happened, we got ourselves back together a little bit in that second quarter, but then halftime, we saw it coming out in that third quarter, not to make any excuses for us, but it was just sickening to see it happen for him.
Yeah, it was. I mean, if you've seen the replay of it, it's luckily you can't really see how gruesome the injury is in the replay, but as soon as Mo Bamba takes off his jersey and covers it up, you knew it was bad. It's a shame. I mean, again, the Magic have had injury issues all year long. We know what Jonathan Isaac and Markelle Fultz, they've barely even played this year because of devastating injuries. And now here's another devastating injury. Even though the Magic weren't going anywhere, we know that. It still hurts to see a guy like Devin Kennedy get hurt like that, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, the thing is it's adding in how do I say this?
Injury to insult.
Injury to insult.
It's adding injury to injury. It's what it's doing, but it is an extra little salt in the wound of, hey, remember why you're having a bad season? This is why, in case you forgot.
Yeah, terrible. Meanwhile, Magic coach Steve Clifford didn't coach last night and is probably going to miss the brunt of the Magic's remaining games. He tested positive for COVID. Surprisingly, he tested positive for COVID on the day he got his second vaccination shot. Here was Steve Clifford talking about that.
After the game against New Orleans on Thursday, I was tested positive, and that's coming off the game, as I think you all know, in Atlanta, where one of the officials was tested positive. So we were on high alert by the NBA. And then yesterday, I did 2 tests. They were both negative. But what I did do during the day with our trainer, Ernest Eugene, who's been great, stayed here, quarantined. Every couple hours, checked my temperature. I haven't had any problems at all. No temperature, no headaches, nothing. And so I have to say I was shocked today. I went in this morning when my results came back as positive. And basically that's where we're at.
Yeah, so he tests positive on the day he got the second Moderna vaccine shot on Thursday. So now he's out. Can it get any worse for the Magic, really?
Yes.
I mean, what a miss.
Yeah, they could not get a top 3 pick.
Yeah. Not have their ping pong ball come up at all, and when they take the first 3 out, that would be the coup de grace here.
Yeah. I wonder if Steve Clifford's immune system has been compromised by all the losing, for crying out, and all the tanking. Wonder if that's compromised his immune system.
He'd be sick way more if that were the case.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Luckily, he's asymptomatic, so hopefully Steve Clifford recovers within the next 10 days, and he's back on the bench by the end of the season. All right. Straight ahead, we have a spontaneous text question. Also, is the college football playoff close to happening? I've got a prediction next on Open Mic.
Open Mic.
Text in your game balls and goof balls right now. 50857. That's our text line. We do game balls and goof balls every Monday morning. We want to know your studs and duds, essentially, from the sports weekend, except we call them game balls and goof balls. I think I stole that from somebody long ago, game balls. Was there another show that did game balls and goof balls at one point? Anybody?
Not that I know of, but not that I have a great frame of reference.
Yeah.
Like your well of knowledge when it comes to sports talk radio is very low.
It's very limited. Oddly enough, haven't been in this business very long.
What about, is your knowledge of giving away prizes limited as well?
Oh, hit the broken glass. We've got a $50 gift card to Bonefish Grill. Call in right now, 407-916-8255. And listen, I'm going to tell you one more time. Wood-grilled seafood specialties take the spotlight at Bonefish Grill this spring. Enjoy decadent new seasonal fish dishes like Rockefeller Butterfish featuring Alaskan black cod topped with creamy spinach and jumbo lump crab. Visit bonefishgrill.com to view the whole menu and give us a call right now, 407-916-8255 for your shot at a $50 Bonefish Grill gift card.
What did you call? What kind of fish was that? Alaskan black cod, you said?
That is correct.
How?
And Rockefeller what?
How? Rockefeller Butterfish.
Oh, I'll have to try the black cod. That happens to be like when we go on our fellas trip, we have something called miso black cod at this restaurant that we eat at every single night. And I've said it once. Anybody who'll ask me, if I ever for some reason end up on death row and they ask you like, "Hey, what's your last meal?" It's the miso black cod that I've had at this restaurant. So I'm very interested to try black cod somewhere else.
There you go.
Oh. Wait a minute. What do you mean the restaurant you eat at every night? You guys eat at the same restaurant?
Same restaurant every night.
What?
Same
Why?
restaurant. Because it's right there, because it's right there in the casino and it's right next to the nightclub. Yeah.
You eat at the casino restaurant, get your 99-cent shrimp cocktail.
No, I tell this story all the time. We actually got there about 3 hours before our party, me and another friend, and they said, well, just go ahead and order. Just go ahead and order food. We're on our way. We're flying in. And so we got there early. We started ordering, and it's my first time at the restaurant, right? And they have these little, like, fish tacos on there. And they're $54, okay? It says $54, yes. So I order fish tacos. I'm thinking you're going to get a bunch of fish tacos. When I tell you, it looked like a fish taco that your daughter's Barbie could hold. I mean, like, it was like literally one big bite or two little bite tacos.
They were $54?
They were tiny, and there was two of them. I was like mortified. I'm sitting there. I looked at my buddy Brian and before anybody else got there. I go, I ain't ordering anything else. Like, hey, I just ordered off the appetizer menu. These two little mini tacos popped out, and I was like, oh my god, $54! Get this away from me.
Oh man, that's not like Bonefish. You know what I like to do at Bonefish? I don't know if they still do it, but on Wednesday nights they used to have the Bang Bang shrimp on special. Oh. I'd go there and order I think they were like $5. This has been like a year and a half ago. I would go in there and the Bang Bang shrimp would be like $5, and I'd get like 3 or 4 of those.
Well,
that would be my meal.
You've hit a home run as a restaurant with their Bang Bang shrimp when everybody sells Bang Bang shrimp, but they call it something just a little bit different, like Wang Dang shrimp, Fang Dang shrimp. Dang shrimp.
Bonefish calls it Bang Bang shrimp,
because
right?
theirs is the original, at least to my knowledge. They're the first ones. They were the best to market it. I mean, it was Bang Bang shrimp was like that was the, and then everybody realized that people loved it and were going there just for that. They're like, we got to find out what that secret sauce is and then get it on our menu. And then they got to change the name a little bit to trick you to think you're getting Bang Bang shrimp.
There you go. You wanted a promo, Austin, for Bonefish Grill. There you go.
Listen, and I'm not.
When they said they wanted an air check, man, I didn't expect an entire segment. But hey, Bonefish Grill, we love you.
And if Mike, if you want to drop your address and if they want to send you some for lunch today,
that's
you can talk all about it tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, I've got a prediction to make. We've talked ad nauseum about expanding the college football playoff, 8 teams, 6 teams, 16 teams, all, we've theorized for years on expanding the college football playoff. I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to say, obviously not this season, not next season. I'm going to say this right now. Remember wherever you guys are in 3 years, remember where you heard this. The college football playoff will be expanded by the 2023 season. By the 2023 season. Why do I say that? I'm not just making a bold, uneducated prediction. This is an educated prediction. I don't know if you guys saw this story, but the College Football Playoff Management Committee met last week, and then Friday, they sort of put out a press release about their findings, all right? And they talked about, yes, we looked at different scenarios, including options ranging from 6 to 16 teams. Bill Hancock, he's the college football playoff executive director. For the longest time, Bill Hancock said, no, we're not going to expand until after the current contract runs out. All right. The current contract runs out in 2025. All right. Listen to what Bill Hancock said the other day after the College Football Management Council met. Quote, there will not be a new format this season or next season. The timetable is certainly an important detail, but it hasn't been determined yet. It's too soon to predict the timing, but even if the board decides to alter the format, it may well not occur until after the current agreement has expired, which isn't until after the 2025 season. So he has left the door open. He's not saying it's not going to happen until after the current contract expires. He's saying it may not happen until then. He's saying it's definitely not going to be this year or next year, but 2023, the Bulldog is predicting we will have an expanded college football playoff. Reardon, your thoughts?
No, I mean, this is a guy who, it was standing behind the door of that college football playoff system, looking through the peephole and not letting anybody in, never cracking the door open. And then you hear these comments. That's a door cracked open. That's a door not only cracked open, that's a door that he knows that he can't hold shut anymore. That he's like opening, okay, listen, no way it can happen this year. Probably not even next year. This timeline is very important. So I mean, that is as close to an about face as you can get from a guy who has been staunchly and steadfastly telling people ain't going to happen. Now it's, hey, if it does happen or when it does happen, it ain't going to happen in the next 2 years. I didn't hear if. What I heard was when.
Yeah.
In those comments.
Absolutely. We have a poll on this. Are you excited that the College Football Playoff Management Committee has at least cracked the door about possibly expanding the playoffs? You can go vote on that poll and all of our other polls at 96.9 The Game. Straight ahead, I have a question for you. Are you happy or mad that Governor Ron DeSantis has worked out a deal that would legalize sports betting right here in Florida? That's next on Open Mic.
This is Markel.
All right, so I wrote a column over the weekend. You can still read that column, by the way, at OrlandoSentinel.com if you like.
Cheap plug.
Thank you. So I wrote this column, and the headline of it is, let me see if I can find the headline of it real quick. The headline of this particular column says, kudos to gambling gov Ron DeSantis for landmark sports betting breakthrough. All right. We talked about this a little bit last week. All right. That, DeSantis was working on an agreement with the Seminole Tribe of Florida to legalize sports betting in Florida. And the reason he has to work with the Seminole Tribe is because the Seminole Tribe controls all gambling and betting in the state of Florida based on a compact the state of Florida signed. It all has to do with, we took their land 100 years ago or however long ago it was, and now this is sort of the payback for that. They get to control gambling. I don't know how that came about, but that's the payback. They get to control gambling in the state of Florida. Well, Ron DeSantis, knowing that sports betting is, essentially every state out there. I think there's 21 states already that have legalized sports betting. A number of other states are considering it. And so Ron DeSantis said, let me in on some of that money, all right? Because if you bring sports betting to Florida, the state itself, now the Seminole Tribe is going to make a bundle of money, obviously, but the state of Florida also stands to make billions and billions of dollars from sports betting. So Ron DeSantis signed a compact, they call it, with the Seminole Tribe on Friday that's going to bring sports betting to the state of Florida if the state legislature passes it. And they're going to have a special session on this May 17th. And again, I don't even know, and I realize our state politicians historically do stupid stuff, all right? But not even they would be ignorant enough to vote against sports betting in Florida. I mean, this is like free money. Free money. This is truly free money, free stuff. I mean, people in Florida are already betting on sports. The way they're doing it now, though, is they're going on these offshore, gambling websites, which, by the way, are I mean, they are operating with impunity. All right, these offshore betting websites. I think Bovada might be one of them. All right. I mean, they're so brazen, all right? They're breaking the law in the state of Florida. They're so brazen that they're advertising themselves, all right? Because they know that, hey, nobody's monitoring them. So all of these offshore betting websites are making a load of money. They're not paying any taxes on all the people in Florida that are betting with their websites. So, of course, we should legalize sports betting. I mean, good grief, free money. People are already doing it. The state of Florida is already in the gambling business. They've been in the gambling business for 30 years when they instituted the Florida lottery. What do you think you have a better chance? I would say you have a better chance betting on the Orlando Magic and winning than you do on one of those scratch-off tickets.
Ooh.
You get
betting on the Orlando Magic winning, or betting on the Orlando Magic to lose and then win that bet is what you meant to say.
Yeah,
okay.
Betting on the Orlando, winning a bet with the Orlando Magic involved. How about that?
Yeah, the scratch-off games are normally like you win once out of every 5 tickets. They'll say it on the back of the ticket if you look at it. Like 1 out of every 4.69 tickets are winners.
Betting on the Magic would be better odds than that.
That's right.
Right.
They're like 33%. That's nice.
Yeah. So anyway, any thought? Anybody? Like I wrote this column over the weekend, and I got a couple of emails from
Mike.
I got a couple of emails. This is another vice and another sin that
Where are your morals? Damn it!
That is going to tempt Floridians, and people go broke. People gamble away their life savings.
Don't you care about the children, Mike?
That's a you problem. That is a you problem, not a state of Florida problem. Again, not every state, but a lot of other states are making a bundle of money on this. Why shouldn't we? Especially in the post-pandemic world where we need money. Our economy in the state of Florida has taken a major hit with the tourism essentially down the toilet for the last year. So
the interesting part to me is the people who don't want gambling, say no, we got to keep gambling, are the same people that like a week later be saying, government just needs to leave us alone. We need to be able to do, there's too much government telling us what we can and can't do, regulating everything. I'm like, well, wasn't it last week that you said that you wanted government to stop gambling in this state because of some moral reason that you have? Listen, I am a liberal guy, and I've always said, I'll let you do whatever you want, okay? I've never partaken in any drugs, but I've always voted in favor of legalizing drugs because if you can do it and remain a productive member of society, that's your business. Now, if you break into my house to steal something from my home to feed, whether it's your gambling or drug or alcohol or fast food addiction, then we've got a problem. But if people can go and say, hey, listen, I got $150 laying around the house, I want to put it on the Orlando Magic. Why
You're going to lose that $150.
Well, that's their business.
You can do it.
That's their business. I have no idea, and this is something I've thought about since I was like 13 years old, why you can't bet on sports in this state. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and again, I talked to one, he's a nationally renowned sports gaming attorney, all right, down in Hallandale Beach. And he said Florida, if Florida legalizes sports betting, he says Florida, because of our location, obviously, because of the sunshine and the tourism and all, he says, and the population, we're the third biggest state out there. He says Florida could be the sports betting capital of the country.
People are already vacationing here. They're already bringing their kids and stuff here.
Yeah,
let me ask you this,
spending a lot of money already.
Let me ask you this, Mike. Disney has always been, I don't know if it's quietly or quite vociferously against the idea of gambling, casinos and whatnot.
Mainly casinos, right, though, because they don't want the big casino hotels competing with their theme park hotels.
So, well, do you think that that ESPN, which is owned by Disney, do you think that Disney is already, at least in the back rooms, creating or at least planning on an ESPN?
Backrooms. ESPN's already signed deals with DraftKings and Caesars.
I'm talking about on location here in Disney in Orlando, Florida, having the ESPN Sportsbook here in
absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Mark Daniels. Mark Daniels is convinced, and I agree with him. In fact, I wrote it in my column. I wouldn't be surprised if ESPN's Wide World of Sports is a sports book in a few years. No, I wouldn't be shocked at all at that. No. I don't think it's going to be at Cinderella's Castle, but ESPN's Wild World of Sports, absolutely. Don't you?
Yeah, you get done with Snow White's whatever that she's got going on there, and then you get to gamble on which one of the seven dwarfs is going to win in a foot race. Who's got Sleepy? That's a bad bet.
It's a long shot.
Long odds on Sleepy.
That's right.
Yeah. All you have to do is go to ESPN.com, go to the ESPN app, and you will see link integrations to DraftKings betting website, Caesars Entertainment betting sites. ESPN's already in bed with these gambling and betting websites. So, and that's Disney. Come on now. Come on. That is Disney. Disney's going to take advantage of this as well. They're already taking advantage of it, for crying out loud. And also the sports teams in the state, whether it be the Magic, the Bucks, the Jaguars, they all want this to happen. Don't kid yourself. They want to have their own little betting parlors in their arenas where you can bet on their games and bet on other games. These arenas are going to turn into sports books. They are.
Yeah.
So, and good. More money for the
revenue.
More money for the more revenue for the sports teams, more revenue for the state, more revenue for everybody except those betting on the games. They don't get they lose their revenue. Anyway. All right, straight ahead. What are we going to get into? We got game balls and GoofBall. I fell into the Austin Pistolka trap over the weekend. All right, I'm giving myself yet another GoofBall for something I clicked on over the weekend. That's next on Open Mic. Game balls and goof balls. We want to know your game balls and goof balls from the sports weekend. You can text those in to 50857. You can give us a call if you want, 407-916-8255. You can also tweet them in at 96.9 The Game or at, no, I'm sorry, not at The Game Jacks.
Oh, man. Fell right back into it.
Right? Yeah.
Somebody retweeted one of our tweets last week from that Twitter account.
That is Mike Bianchi. Mike Bianchi
Mike,
still
you
tweets.
did that?
I think he's the only person with at the Game Jacks login.
Yeah, I retweet. Yeah, I still use that account just in case there's some people up there still.
That's your burner account now?
Yeah.
The Kevin Durant of Sports Talk Radio.
I retweet all of our polls on that. Yeah, of
course.
Still might be some people. Ernesto might still log on to that account up in Jacksonville.
Yeah, because he's not following you.
Maybe you should retweet today's because didn't they go gospel?
Yeah.
Didn't they go gospel? They're adamantly opposed to sports gambling in this state now.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Your first chance at $1,000 coming up 7:10 a.m. this morning. All right. $1,000. We also, by the way, have a chance for you to win. What's our other prize we're going to give away?
Rays and A's tickets for tomorrow's game.
Rays and A's tickets we're going to give away. We also have an Instagram giveaway. Where's that little gem?
Oh, don't you worry. It's the Orlando Magic taking on the Lakers for tomorrow night. You got to follow us on Instagram, like the post, and tag one Magic or Lakers fan that you know in the comments.
So go to our Instagram account at 96.9 The Game, and you can win a 4-pack of Lakers Magic tickets. That is for tonight. All right, game balls and goof balls. I'll get it started. Let's start with a goofball to gruesome injuries. I mean, good grief. All right, did anybody see the UFC injury?
Disgusting. Oh, it's so gross.
No.
I hate
UFC
261.
Yeah, so former middleweight champion Chris Weidman, is that how you said, or Weidman?
Weidman.
Chris Weidman, again, oh God. It's just a gruesome leg injury.
Wait, Mike, 2 seconds. Let's do this.
He closes a slight plus 105 betting underdog per DraftKings Sportsbook.
That snap.
Oh, I hate it.
You can hear the crowd.
Weidman has snapped his left leg.
I got nothing but respect.
Oh.
Wait, so I didn't watch it.
Play the clip. Do you have the clip of the other fighter saying he's got nothing but respect?
Yeah, absolutely. At the end of the clip, let's listen to this one more time. Oh my good Lord!
I don't want to hear that anymore. No, we will not play that again. Not only do you not want to see it, you don't want to hear it.
That's how bad it is.
I got nothing but respect for Chris Weidman. He's truly one of the best. Man, I feel so bad for him. I hope he's okay. I wish his family well. If you guys are watching.
Keep in mind, I was literally the first 2 seconds of the fight.
Wow. So I'm assuming it's a leg kick that was checked and it snapped his leg.
That's exactly it.
I've seen it. I've seen that actually happen before. Mm-hmm. And so then when I read the headline, Weidman, snaps leg, I knew kind of what was coming. And that
Who was he fighting? Uriah Hall?
Uriah Hall.
Yeah.
The worst part about it was that he hits his shin, right? It kind of wraps around.
Yeah.
And he steps back onto it.
And it flies.
Yeah.
Because at that moment, before the pain sets in, your body's going back to where, and then folds out underneath. It is honestly one of the most disgusting things you can see.
Yeah.
Is a leg snap and in the front like that, and then whip around. It's gross.
Ugh.
Yeah. Goofball to gruesome injuries. Obviously, Magic guard Davin Kennedy suffered another gruesome injury yesterday as he contested a layup by Pacers forward Edmund Sumner. He landed awkwardly on his right leg and broke his ankle with 3:09 left in the first quarter. Again, gruesome injury. Mo Bamba immediately took off his jersey and covered Kennedy's leg. Tyrone Corbin, who's the interim coach of the Magic, who was filling in for Steve Clifford, who was not coaching for the next few games because of COVID protocol. Here was Tyrone Corbin talking about that injury.
It's hard, man. I mean, it's hard. You see the reaction from his teammates, and it was tough for them to get back on the floor and finish the game. Actually, after it happened, we got ourselves back together a little bit in that second quarter, but then halftime, we saw it coming out in that third quarter. Not to make any excuses for us, but it was just sickening to see it happen for him.
Yeah. So Kennedy gave a thumbs up signal as, the crowd applauded as he's being stretchered off the court. He was later diagnosed with an open fracture of his right ankle that will require surgery. And again, this is a guy who battled his way onto the Magic roster from the G League. So obviously we hope Davin Kennedy recovers fully. What else we got? How about a game ball for Nani? All right. So Nani essentially not kicked it in. Did you see his goal, Adam Reardon?
I did, but I didn't see the goal. But I heard it was like he flicked it in.
Yeah, a little back heel equalizer. Do we have a clip of that?
303rd career game for Kansas City. It's going to be lobbed up. Chance here for Smith, who again has come forward. Cut back cross. Fell for Mueller and save on the back heel. Rebound goal from Nani. Has a look over. Didn't see the flag come up.
Okay, so that was Nani, show-stopping back heel equalizer as Orlando City ties Sporting KC 1-1. Orlando City had 2 goals waved away for offsides calls during the course of the game. Here's my idea for soccer. We will, Kravitz last week was talking about, soccer needs more scoring. Why don't we just do away with offsides?
Yeah, right.
Oh, man.
Adam?
No.
Adam, can we just do away with it?
No.
Just have one guy cherry picking in the back.
That's exactly what you'd have. You'd have somebody cherry picking.
Okay, you have that in basketball sometimes, cherry picking, right?
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, I don't like that.
There is a chance for recovery in basketball. There is zero chance for recovery because of the court, because of
the field, the
size.
length of the field. Yeah.
Okay, I'm kidding, obviously. All right, I'm not really for that.
Don't let Brandon Kravitz hear that. He'll take that and run with it.
But if they did that, if they were to do away with offsides, what would the scores be in soccer?
Well, I mean, defenses would adjust to it. So, you'd leave 2 players back to stay on that one guy.
Yeah.
Basically, the defenders would go as deep as the striker wanted to go versus the striker having to come as high as the defenders go. So, I mean, there'd be an adjustment. And
so you think everybody would adjust?
They'd adjust, yeah. Okay. But then,
has anybody ever tried that? Has there ever been a league that said no, offsides is no longer?
Depending on who you ask, some of these parents will tell you these referees don't call offsides anyway. Or they call it too much. No, I don't, not that I know of. Not that, like I said, you'd have somebody adjust. You'd have basically one player would stay with the other one player, or you maybe would leave 2 back at that time. Now, and it would change the numerical. What you would do offensively on the other side when you had the ball. So, it would change it. I don't know if it would change it for the better, to be honest. And yeah, I mean, listen, I understand where people would say, look, if we just had players closer to the goal and we could just get them the ball, I think it'd be harder to get them the ball the farther away they are. So,
okay. All right, let's pause for station identification.
WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2 Cocoa Beach, FM 96.9 The Game, the home of Orlando City Soccer Club.
Okay, we have to give a game ball, don't we, to Gronk? Did you see what he did? So he's visiting his alma mater, the University of Arizona. All right. Who's the coach there? The former Miami offensive coordinator. Is it Jed Fish?
Jed Fish, yeah.
Jacksonville
Fish. Jaguars. He's been all over.
The Fish Man.
So Jed Fish is the new coach of the University of Arizona. So he invites Gronk, who went to Arizona, out, for a weekend at his alma mater. So while he's there, all right, he breaks a Guinness Book of World Records record by catching a football from a helicopter that's hovering 600 feet in the air. He didn't even need Tom Brady to do it, all right? He just catches this football that was dropped from 600 feet. I think he caught it on the second attempt. Do we have any sound of that?
We're going to have the highest altitude catch that's ever been done in the world. 600 feet in the air. We're going to have a helicopter drop a ball straight down, and we're going to set a Guinness Book of World Record right here in front of all of you guys.
Record of the world.
Right through his fingertips.
Love the production line.
Every time you step on the field, you gotta raise that bar to another level, baby. And I just raised that bar to this level.
That's Gronk right there, baby.
Yeah.
I believe it was his fourth attempt, by the way.
It was his fourth attempt. Okay.
Yeah.
We have a poll question up, all right? If given 100 chances, would you bet your life against $1 million that you could catch just one out of 100 is all I'm asking. Would you? I know Austin Pastolka what because he has hands. He would not. He has hands of stone.
Oh, Mike,
he could never do it.
I would soften up these hands at least one time.
Your hands are made of granite.
Incorrect. I got soft hands when it comes to catching footballs. All right, tight end material.
Adam Reardon, you're a good athlete. I know you would attempt it.
Not only would I attempt it, I would ask, whoever is offering it up, can we go $3 million and you give me 30 shots at it?
Oh, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that.
That's how confident I am.
I would do that. I would do that as well.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I'm fine with my 1 million 100 chances.
Yeah.
But you would bet your life against Pastolka because
Absolutely.
again, I've seen you even try to catch. I've seen you try to catch a basketball from 5 feet away.
Hey, that was because Brandon Kravitz didn't know how to pass the freaking ball. Okay,
so Austin Pastolka would bet his life on it.
I would absolutely. Yeah, why not? What else do I got going for me? I'm just kidding.
We just talked about gruesome injuries. That'd be gruesome seeing you executed after your 100th miss.
I would feel very, very confident.
It's just you got to create a basket.
The only part of it that would be weird is dropping a football. It's the way it's shaped. It would probably move in ways that you'd have to adjust to it and stuff like that. But
I think didn't they position Gronk about where it was going to land?
Yeah. But I'm saying that it isn't like a round ball that is going to travel pretty much in the same with the shape of the football if it's just dropped, and a spiral helps keep the ball in the right trajectory. So I mean,
depending on how they drop,
it'd be like fielding a punt. Have you ever
wind conditions?
Yeah, it'd be like fielding a punt, but a punt that goes 600 feet in the air.
Yeah. By the way, Austin Pastolka, you said you would do it for $1 million, bet your life again. Yeah. What if, on the first try, the ball lands 10 feet away from you, and you're like, oh no. I can't even judge. I can't even judge where the ball's gonna hit.
I don't start panicking. I don't start panicking until 60. Okay,
60. Oh my god! If I didn't catch it in 10, I'd be like, "Oh my god!"
No.
Oh my god!
If I'm not zeroed in, all right, I'm coming close, but by 20, I'm like, "Ooh, okay." Really need to focus in now. If by 40, I'm not even I'm nowhere close. I'm like, "Come on now." And 60 is the moment where I start panicking.
I was watching this clip this weekend, and what it made me think of is Gronk and his career and the character that he is, which is I don't think he's acting. I think this is Gronk. This is who he is.
He's just a meathead. He's a big meathead.
And I was trying to think of myself, have we ever had an athlete, a professional athlete, as successful, as driven, as this guy who's done it all, but he's never sort of let go of that childlike mentality. You know what I mean? Like he's just still a big goofy kid. Most of these guys,
childlike? It's more of a frat boy mentality.
Yeah, but I mean, like he.
Yeah, but it's not problematic. He doesn't like frat boy.
Yeah.
When you say frat boy, you there's some connotation there that's kind of like
he's like one of those guys that still plays for the love of the game. I mean, this is a guy just goofing off. Whereas I think when you get to this level, there's somebody always in your ear telling you, "Hey, man, you got to really tighten, button up here, man. I mean, you're going to lose sponsorship. I mean, you can't act this way." No, he acts this way, and it works for him. Whereas I was trying to think to myself, who's the other guy? I mean, Dennis Rodman was weird, but it didn't work for him, like in the sense that he's fully embraced by everybody. I just couldn't think of somebody else who
Pat McAfee, but that's
Pat McAfee, but he
wasn't a star. He was a punter, so he was as big of a star.
So you're talking about a guy who's like a big lughead who is also.
But everybody likes him. I mean, everybody likes him.
He's a big lunk. You like him because he's a big, playful lunk, right?
Yeah, so I'm trying to think of somebody who is like that. And I said, this guy found a spot where he didn't have to change a thing. And I think a lot of guys that play professional sports, sometimes have to change things. They got to button things up. They got to stop doing the things they normally do.
What about Shaq, maybe?
Not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah. I mean, Shaq. I mean, he did the rapping, did the acting, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, but Shaq's also. I think Shaq's also kind of navigates through that stuff with a third eye, if you will, like thinking about like, hey, how does this? I think Gronk just does things because he wants to do things, and it works out for him.
Yeah,
it's perfect. Actually, it's great. I mean, I've actually enjoyed. Watching all of his stuff. He's very funny.
All right, text in your game balls and goof balls to 50857. As I said earlier, I went down the rabbit hole that Austin Pastolka often goes down because
King of the clickbait, brother.
Yeah, he is like Mr. Clickbait. He clicks on all of these just mindless, meaningless stories on social media. So I don't know why I did it, and I'm giving myself a goofball for it. But over the weekend, I'm on my phone and I'm looking at the news feeds, and I see this story. All right, and the headline is "Boosie Badazz goes off on O.J. Simpson over LeBron criticism." First of all, I'm like, who the hell's Boosie Badazz? I didn't know who Boosie Badazz.
Come on, man.
I didn't know who Boosie Badazz was. And he's going after O.J. Simpson, which again, so I click on it, and Boosie Badazz, of course, is he a famous rapper?
Yeah,
he's famous.
Correct. Yeah.
He's
like a
famous
legendary rapper from the South.
Yeah, and we talked about it last week. O.J. Simpson sort of criticized LeBron for not being more patient in his tweet/delete last week in regards to the Micaiah Bryant police shooting. All right. So I got to thinking, I'm reading this story, and after I was done, I was like, first of all, why do I even care what O.J. Simpson thinks about LeBron? And secondly, why do I care what Boosie Badazz thinks about O.J. Simpson criticizing LeBron?
Mike, you're just one step away from reading a story about what Kevin Bacon thinks about Lil Boosie, thinking about OJ, thinking about LeBron. I mean, we're getting into that realm here. We're like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon from. I don't care what this guy thinks about this other guy.
Mike, did you follow it up with 15 photos that you're never gonna believe are real?
Oh God.
Oh, child actors, and where are they now?
What?
Yeah.
I gotta click on this.
Oh, Marsha Brady, look what she looks like now.
Oh,
yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Grief. All right, I'm going to give anybody have any game balls, goof balls you want to get out?
Can I give a game ball to Manchester City, who won their 4th straight Carabao Cup this weekend? That gives them
their what?
4th straight Carabao Cup. It's a tournament they play over in England. For soccer teams. So it's their 4th straight win. That's a lot. They lead in the Premiership, so they're probably going to add that trophy to their trophy case, and they're in the semifinals of the Champions League, which gives them the chance at the coveted treble.
The treble.
As long as you're giving game balls for soccer, I want to give a game ball to Real Madrid's president, all right, Florentino Perez, who essentially came out over the weekend and said all of these English Premier teams that backed out of the Super League, and I'm paraphrasing this, what a bunch of wusses is what he's saying. That's exactly what he said. What a bunch of wusses. They made this agreement. We signed the contract. And then after 2 days, they backed out. Essentially what we were saying last week. They didn't know there was going to be an outcry? That's what this guy's saying. So I give him a game ball.
Now, dog.
Right?
Come on, man.
That's Boosie Badazz for you right there, by the way, Bianchi.
Okay.
Come on, dog.
By the way, he also said this. All right, Adam, what do you think about this? He said about European soccer, either we fix this or all the clubs go bankrupt. There will be a mutiny of the teams as they go bankrupt because the only ones who will survive will be the state finance clubs or those who have multi-billionaire owners who are willing for their own entertainment to lose hundreds of millions of dollars each season, actually euros each season.
All right, one of my favorite teams is owned by one of these multi-billion-dollar owners. So tough luck, Real Madrid.
I mean, this guy's a multi-billionaire too, though.
All right, well, tell him to start. Well, they'll have to reevaluate how they do business, and obviously, COVID and the pandemic and what happened to this planet over the last year and a half has changed a lot of things. But clearly fans spoke up and didn't want this from the English clubs. And I give the English clubs credit. I give anybody who's willing to say, hey, I made a decision, but I didn't factor in everything. And now I want to reevaluate that and I want to change that. It's very difficult to do. And credit to those clubs for doing it.
Especially after 2 days.
Yeah, I mean, listen. I know people haven't admitted they're wrong in 10 years.
All right, straight ahead, we got the sound off. What does that mean? It means we are going to react to some of the hottest sound of the sports weekend. But first, we have a hot chance to win $1,000 right now. That is the Sound Off Music. Sound Off brought to you by our Magic versus Lakers ticket giveaway, a 4-pack to tonight's game. All you have to do is follow us on Instagram. You can go to Instagram.com/969thegame. Like the post we have up. Tag one Magic or Lakers fan you know, and the winner will be chosen this morning. Kelly, what do we have?
Sound off. Sound off.
And of all the superlatives.
Kamaru Usman knocking out Jorge Masvidal this past weekend at UFC 261, man. He put his hands down and got rocked, Mike.
So who are these two fighters again?
So we have Usman as well as Masvidal. Masvidal's from Miami. Usman, I forget where he's from, but he's Nigerian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so these two have bad blood for quite some time.
Is the Nigerian fighter the one you were telling us about recently, Adam? The big guy who, you know, this who just started fighting like 5 years ago. He's this big hulking.
No, that's Francis Ngannou, and he's from Cameroon.
Okay.
Yeah, but
this knockout was crazy though. George Masvidal was the guy that was taking it to Irish guy.
Conor McGregor.
And they had beef.
What do you mean? Just talking trash to him?
Yeah, mad trash.
Okay.
They had major beef, and so a lot of people were really excited to see this guy get KO'd. And the photo that some guy for ESPN took with the sweat flying everywhere, incredible.
Jorge Masvidal, he became his rise to fame. I say rise to fame, but his early indoctrination into fighting was he used to fight in those backyard fights down in Miami with Kimbo Slice. He'd fight on the undercard of Kimbo Slice, and that's where he learned to fight, and then got involved in mixed martial arts. Had a huge KO win over Ben Askren. It was the fastest knockout in UFC history, and then beat Nate Diaz in a fight. And then lost to Kamaru Usman originally, but he had like 6 days to make weight, where he had to drop like 30 pounds, in 6 days, which he was able to do. Didn't give the best showing of himself, wanted the rematch, got the rematch, and careful what you wish for.
Hit him with a 1-2 sleeper.
Yep.
Got my start in the backyard fight, baby. Texas death match in the backyard. Nobody there but me and my opponent.
That's right.
Whoever gets out of the cage survives.
That's right, baby.
It was like that, but actually real. It was just like that.
Shut up! It's still real to me, damn it!
I've never seen somebody so humbled after a loss, though. I'll tell you one thing: he took his loss the way that he should.
Well, no, he's like that. I'm actually a huge Jorge Masvidal fan. I mean, he wins with flair, but when he loses, the guy takes his L. I mean, nothing more you could ask from a guy.
Well, thank God you played. Thank God you played that UFC clip and not that other one.
Oh, I don't want to know.
This is awkward.
This is a slight plus 105 betting underdog per DraftKings Sportsbook.
I read through the cover now with my ears.
Kelly, you cannot play that.
Chris Weidman. He's truly one of the best. Man, I feel so bad for him. I hope he's okay. I wish his family well if you guys are watching.
Man, once again, UFC 261, Chris Weidman completely just shattering his leg.
As a soccer player and a guy who uses his legs all the time, as a human being who likes to, I don't know if you know this fridge.
I don't know if you know this or not, Adam, but we all use our legs.
Yeah.
As a soccer player who uses my legs to go to the fridge.
I said that because I value my legs more than anybody because I use them for recreational purposes, a lot. Where some of you guys can just sit around and play chess. I don't know what you're into. But heck, even all of us who have to get up, go to the fridge, go to the bathroom once in a while, that hurt. I like listening to it, and it's funny because I didn't see it. And I read the headline, and I already in my mind know what it looks like because I've already seen one happen before, and that's not pretty. And we've seen a lot of injuries lately, and we saw one in the Magic game. Thanks, but no thanks with all that. I'm moving my feet when I'm talking right now because it just gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Watching it live, because when he kicks him, Hall, he actually like buckles a little bit, so I'm like, oh, he might go down early, but that's before you realize what happened because it happened so quick. And once he went down, you see it, bing, buckle.
Well,
oh my Lord!
You can hear Daniel Cormier there. He's like, oh, like because you can hear the crack.
It was insane.
So you think it's a big kick that lands with heavy power and that hurt, but he didn't realize in that moment who's really hurt is going to be it was Weidman.
That was the bone.
Yeah,
that wasn't foot against skin. That was the snapping of the bone.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
Sound off. And Steph dribbled it off his foot. Shot clock at 3. And Curry going to try to get one up from way deep and laser it in. Of course. Draymond to Curry running the floor. Steph hung in the air and then finished with the right hand. Really well. His footwork impeccable. Steph, a very deep 3. He's got a flamethrower. Just the movement without the ball as soon as he gives it up.
That's right. Steph netted 7 threes against Sacramento this past weekend, giving him the record for most threes in a calendar month with 85, Mike.
Yeah, good. I mean, the guy's unbelievable. We can talk about LeBron. We can talk about, all of the other great players in the league right now. But there has been no more influential player in basketball over the last,
Talk to him.
You want to talk about a guy who has changed the way that the game is played and kids on the playground play the game. Steph Curry has changed the way the game is played. He's the most he might be the most influential player in basketball since they had to widen the lane for Wilt Chamberlain. All right.
Being Steph Curry with the shot.
That's right.
This guy is. I mean, they didn't change the. Michael Jordan didn't change the game. All right, because not everybody can, hover above the rim for 5 seconds and dunk a ball, but people can stand outside, 30 feet out and try to perfect the 3-point shot. And you see it whenever you go by a playground, you see so many kids just jacking up threes from distance. He's changed the game.
There was a clip of Drew Holiday on some podcast, I forget off the top of my head, but he's talking about Steph and how incredible it is just to see him play. And it's like kids see him do all this stuff. He's like, listen, you don't understand. He's an alien. He can do this stuff, all right? You guys need to just relax a little bit.
I actually read a comparison this weekend. Mike, I'd love to get your opinion on this because I know you're familiar with the guy. Had he come up in this time, in this game, the
pistol.
Well, the pistol won, but I'll give you another LSU alum, Chris Jackson, a.k.a. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf.
That guy in college, again, incredible. They didn't have the 3-point shot back then.
Yeah, and so Steph is doing things that we've never seen before, but is Steph doing things that other guys couldn't have done before had they had grown up or come up in the same time? I mean, you mentioned the pistol, his ball handling, his shooting, and then the scoring ability of a guard that Chris Jackson had in college and then also in the NBA.
This guy was scoring 50 in college, Chris Jackson. I mean, Pistol Pete did that all the time, but Chris Jackson, more of the modern era. I mean, yeah, he would shoot the. I mean, again, I saw him play the Gators a few times in the O'Connell Center, and he would shoot the ball from Steph Curry distance and swish it. Yeah, he was great. He was great.
Sound off. That's the sound off for today, which means.
Oh, hell yeah! I know that you want to head to the Tropicana Field to see the Tampa Bay Rays take on the Oakland A's tomorrow night. All you got to do, give us a call, 407-916-8255. Michael Wacha is the projected pitcher for the Rays tomorrow. You want to see it? It's at the Trop tomorrow night. 407-916-8255 for your chance at these tickets.
If they're not selling his starts by saying he's going to throw Wacha, Flock of Flames.
Nice.
I am very upset with this. I am so upset if they're not using that.
All right, straight ahead. Has Magic coach Steve Clifford's immunity system been compromised by all the losing? We'll get into that next on Open Mic.
More Open Mic.
Text in your game balls and goofballs for the sports weekend, 50857. We will read some of those later in the show. It is a Game Balls and Goofballs Monday morning, so we always like to pass out our Game Balls and Goofballs for the sports weekend as well. I feel, obviously, the Orlando Magic, they're tanking. Their season's in the tank. They're going nowhere. They're just trying to get a high draft pick. I feel bad for them, though. I really do. I mean, they're not only, but they're losing. Okay, they're trying to lose. I understand that. All right, since the trade deadline, they've been trying to lose. Well, they lose again last night, 131-112, get blown out by the Indiana Pacers. But just the circumstances surrounding the Magic now, it's getting depressing. Their coach, Steve Clifford, was diagnosed with COVID. Thank God it's asymptomatic, or at least it is right now. So he's going to miss the next few games. And then yesterday, one of their most inspirational stories, Davin Kennedy. He's a guard. Most people never heard of Davin Kennedy, but we've talked about him on this show because when the Lakeland Magic, the Magic's G League team, won the G League championship, Davin Kennedy was the MVP of the G League championship. All right. And so he gets promoted up to the main club, signs a 10-day contract. Again, he gets his chance. So his 10-day contract runs out and the Magic sign him again. They sign him again because he's proven himself up on the big club. So what happens yesterday? He's contesting a layup by Pacers forward Edmund Sumner. He lands awkwardly on his right leg, and he broke his ankle with 3:09 left in the first quarter. Here's what it sounded like.
Here they come right back at you. Sumner on the drive. And a foul on Kennedy, and he grabs his right leg. Now they've got him up on the stretcher. And a crowd of about 4,000 in the Amway Center. Everybody's on their feet to salute Davin Kennedy.
Well, again, we're not from where we are. We can't diagnose the injury and everything, but if we assume broken bone or something like that, there's so many instances in our league of guys, recovering from major injury like this across the way. Karis LeVert, kind of the same thing a couple of years ago. We saw Paul George, Gordon Hayward, just some names that come off. So this is not the end for Davin Kennedy. It's just disappointing for him, I know.
David Steele and Jeff Turner on the call there. And again, it was, we talked a little bit about the gruesome injury in UFC over the weekend. This injury was gruesome as well. In fact, Mo Bamba immediately took off his jersey and covered Kennedy's leg before the team training staff arrived out on the court to begin tending to Kennedy. Here's Mo Bamba talking about doing that.
Yeah, I don't want to necessarily get into too many specifics about it, but I just saw my teammate was down, and I just did what he would probably do for me. Thought quick, and I didn't want him to see it. My shirt off my back and gave it to him. I think it's just something he would have done for me.
Wow. Again, if you know Davin Kennedy's story, it's just heartbreaking. It really is. In fact, Magic interim coach Tyrone Corbin, who was filling in for Steve Clifford, who has COVID, here's what he said.
It's hard, man. I mean, it's hard. You see the reaction from his teammates, and it was tough for them to get back on the floor and finish the game, actually. After it happened, we got ourselves back together a little bit in that second quarter, but then halftime, you saw it coming out in that third quarter, not to make any excuses for us, but it was just sickening to see it happen for him.
Can it get any worse for the Magic? I mean, we know their injury issues this year. Jonathan Isaac never even played this year, torn ACL. Markelle Fultz barely played, torn ACL. and now you have one of their one of the players that they hoped maybe gets promoted from the G League. You hope maybe he'd found himself, and then he gets injured. Gonna have, I don't know if he's had surgery or he's going to have surgery, but it was diagnosed as an open fracture of his right ankle. Can it get any worse for them? I mean, it's just miserable what's going on with the Orlando Magic. And I haven't even talked about Steve Clifford being diagnosed with COVID over the weekend.
Yeah, obviously the run that the Magic are on, wins and losses wise, is sort of irrelevant because as they're trying to accumulate ping pong balls for the upcoming draft lottery, that's okay. But the other things around it, you mentioned all the injuries, not having Jonathan Isaac at all this year, Markelle Fultz, not being available. Cole Anthony went, through a stretch there where he was unavailable as well. You sign these guys from the G League, and even if it's not, hey, this guy develops into a roster player for us, I'm thinking on the personal level for this young man to say he worked his way up, and it may not be with the Magic, but there may be another team out there that goes, hey, that guy's pretty good. Let's give him a shot next year. It's sort of like in the NFL preseason, guys that get cut on that last day, but other NFL teams have had a chance to get some tape on him, learn some things about him, and then they bring him in for an opportunity. So you just hate to see a guy who's worked so hard. And listen, being in the G League sounds like you're this close to the NBA, but I can assure you that their travel accommodations, their stay ain't nothing like the NBA. Okay, yeah. So this is a guy that worked himself into that spot, got an opportunity, and then sadly he's going to have to work double time and twice as hard to get back to that level because he's going to be having to do it through rehab.
Yeah, and how do you not feel for Steve Clifford? I mean, he comes into this season thinking, hey, we got another shot to make the playoffs. Then, of course, Isaac was gone even before the season started, and then Fultz, and then they trade their best players at the trade deadline, and suddenly he is coaching a rebuilding team. And then
even more so, remember at the beginning of the year, the Magic were the last team to lose in the NBA.
They're 4-0,
They were 4-0. They were the last team to lose in the NBA, and now look where they are.
Yeah, and now the coach has COVID and probably isn't going to coach for at least the next 10 days. And he did everything right. He got his vaccine. In fact, he tested positive. He tested positive on the day, Thursday, he got his second Moderna vaccination shot. So, again, what are you going to do if you're Steve Clifford? I guess he could have gotten his vaccination earlier.
Well,
right?
And the way that this season's going, if you ask Steve Clifford, without a microphone in his face, he'd be like, 10 days off sounds pretty good right now. Are we kidding here?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we joked earlier, did all the losing compromise his immune system, for crying out loud?
Because who's the guy filling in? Ty Corbin?
Yeah, Tyrone Corbin.
Yeah, he's probably like, this is the break I get. This is the chance I get to prove that I.
Too soon. He said the break I get. Too soon.
Too soon.
I didn't mean that.
Goodness.
The opportunity I get. Coaching this team.
All right, straight ahead, is sports betting coming to the state of Florida? I think it is. We'll talk about that next on Open Mic.
96.
time to put the pedal to the floor. It's loud and live and local. Oh, time for open mic.
Welcome back to Open Mic. I'm Mike Bianchi, the Bulldog sports columnist of the Orlando Sentinel, joined as always by Adam Reardon, the deceptive intellect, Austin Pistolka, the Sultan of Sound, Kelly Velez, the Prince of Production. Together, we are Open Mic, the quartet of sports talk radio excellence in the megalopolis we know as home, right here in Central Florida. Game day payday, what is that? Your chance to win $1,000. The next one coming up at 8:10 a.m. this morning. We do it 3 times during our show, 7:10 a.m., 8:10 a.m., 9:10 a.m., and then on throughout the day. So make an appointment on the 10s for the game day payday presented by International Diamond Center. Remember how I told you my sisters are bleeding heart liberal, sort of like Austin Pistolka, all right? and one of my sisters, when I voted for Mitt Romney, this was how many elections ago? It was Obama's second. I voted for Obama the first term, but I didn't vote for Obama the second term. I voted for Mitt Romney. And my sister, one of my sisters, the bleeding heart liberal, wouldn't talk to me for 6 weeks when I told her I voted for Mitt Romney, all right? And I often use that as an illustration of how, people let, their political viewpoints just cloud everything. They take it personally. They don't let people have their own opinions without getting upset with them, all right? So, again, over the weekend. So I wrote a column. I don't know if you guys read the column or not. If you haven't, you can go to OrlandoSentinel.com right now. Yeah. And the headline of the column was kudos to Florida, kudos to the gambling gov, Ron DeSantis, for working out a deal to bring sports betting to Florida. So I wrote this column, all right, and I posted it on my Facebook page, as I often do some of my columns. I'll put it on Facebook. I'll put it on Twitter, just to get a little traffic going for my column. So my sister, one of my sisters, the bleeding heart liberal who doesn't like Ron DeSantis for obvious reasons, because he's not a bleeding heart liberal, he's a conservative. So she just rips Ron DeSantis, and then she starts a little Facebook war on my page, all right? So you know what I had to do?
You had to block your own sister?
I didn't block her. I just deleted her comments.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't block. Although one of my brothers has blocked my sister.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how again, you can dislike politicians. I understand that. But if certain times politicians do things that are good, certain that you agree with, certain times they do things you don't agree with, all right? In this particular case, I don't know how anybody can be unhappy with Ron DeSantis. Again, he's worked out a deal with the Seminole tribe that could and should bring legalized sports betting to Florida and generate countless billions of dollars in revenue for our state. How can you not like that? How can you not like that? How can you rip Ron DeSantis for that?
Yeah,
seriously.
And we can point to, listen, if there's sports books that are open, there'll be more jobs. If they're building places to have sports books, that's more jobs. I mean, if we can make that connection, then
and the billions of dollars it's going to generate in the economy, because we're going to get a cut of all the bets that are made.
Yeah, and again, the interesting part is, to me, normally conservative leadership is against pushing this forward. So your sister, I think,
if this had been a liberal Democratic governor, she would have. Oh, what a great move!
Look what he's doing for the. No, of course. No, you listen. This is where somebody created the old saying: you got to give credit where credit is due. When they said you have to give credit, it was probably directed at the person who didn't want to give the credit to who was due the credit. because they didn't like that person. But listen, in this instance, Ron DeSantis is the leader of the state. He's the governor. He was able to move this to a point where it will, be a further discussion, or at least, we can kind of move even further forward than we've ever moved in this state. And it's something that most liberals would agree with. Most liberal people want the ability to gamble on sports betting. We want the ability to go to a casino. We want the ability to play the lottery if we so choose. So your sister should be happy.
Yeah, well, again, but that's where politics and the divisiveness of politics and the polarization of politics clouds everybody's view. By the way, the Florida legislature will have a special session to vote on this agreement between Ron DeSantis and the Seminole Tribe of Florida. And again, this is a win-win-win. I mean, good Lord, billions of dollars into the state economy. Sports betting is already being done in this state, except it's being done illegally on these illegal offshore online websites that are operating with impunity and without paying taxes. These websites, again,
Mike, relax. Quiet. They don't want them to know. Don't let the state of Florida know that they aren't getting any money for all the stuff that's actually going on.
Well, I hope if this passes, that if sports betting passes in the state, I hope now that since the state would then be in the sports betting business, they would figure out a way to crack down on these offshore sites. Why? Because we'd be in direct competition with them in the state of Florida, right? The state of Florida would be competing against these offshore sites because, again, every bet that's made in the state of Florida, we're going to get a cut of it. Every legal bet that's made, we're going to get a cut of it. The Seminole Tribe's going to get a cut of it. The sports books are going to get their cut of it, although not nearly the cut that the state of Florida or the Seminole Tribe is going to get out of this. But again, everybody should be for this. If you live in the state of Florida with the way our economy is after the pandemic, and this is essentially a way to get free money. The state doesn't have to do anything. Well, they have to regulate it, obviously, but the Seminole Tribe is going to do a lot of that work for you. The Seminole Tribe is, again, they control gambling in the state of Florida based on a historic agreement with the state of Florida. The pro teams in the state, they are for this, although they won't come out publicly and say it, but they are. They're for it. Why wouldn't they be? They're going to get their cut as well. All of these pro arenas and stadiums are going. Adam, do you think there's going to be little betting parlors in these stadiums and arenas once this passes?
There's going to be full-on sports books at the stadium where you can sort of look out one window and see the game being played that you paid to go to. And then on the back wall, there's going to be 400 television sets that you can watch any other game that's going on around the globe, regardless of sport.
Yeah, it's going to be, again, if you're anti-gambling, that ship sailed about 30 years ago in the state of Florida. That sailed 30 years ago in the state of Florida. That's when the Florida lottery came about. I think it was 1988 is when we implemented the Florida lottery. And again, I don't know the percentages, but you probably have a better chance of winning money betting on the Jaguars or the Magic than you do buying one of those Joker's Wild scratch-off tickets you get at the local 7-Eleven. Is that right, Adam? What's the percentages on that?
Normally the scratch-offs are somewhere between 1 in 4.5 and 1 in 5.12 or something like that. So, yeah, somewhere between 20 and 25% to win something, which is your money back or win a free ticket or something greater than that.
Okay, what are the odds if you take the Jaguars to lose, all right, and you take the spread? All right, what are the odds of winning that?
Well, if you're taking the points, it's generally 50-50 because you're taking points, which kind of levels the playing field. So you're 50-50 to win that bet.
Yeah, plus you have to pay your, what is it, the betting fee? What is that?
The VIG?
What is that called?
What are you talking about? The VIG? You're talking about like
what's the VIG?
Well, you're talking about the
The handle.
Yeah, the handle. Oh, you're talking about like in poker, there's like a handle. Or they call it a handle?
No, what do you contribute? Don't you contribute something to the establishment that's taking your bet?
Yeah, they take that out. Yeah, they take that out. Yeah.
All right, let's pause for station identification.
WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2 Cocoa Beach, FM 96.9 The Game, the home of Orlando City Soccer Club. You feel that?
I can feel it.
We're about to blast off.
Just hook it to my veins!
It's time for the blast.
That's right. It is time for the blast here on Open Mic, and the blast is brought to you by Frank Gay Services. If you need an electrician or a plumber and you need them right now, go to frankgayservices.com. They will hook you up with all of your electrician and plumber needs. That's frankgayservices.com. Let's start off with the Open Mic thought-provoking daily poll, which is this. Are you happy or mad that Governor Ron DeSantis has worked out a deal that could legalize sports betting in Florida? Are you happy or mad? Mike, pick up the phone or put it down. Happy or mad?
That's my sister calling. I wonder if she heard me.
Oh, no! Tell her she's got the wrong number. Tell her she got the wrong number. What's the number? What's the number here?
407-916-8255.
I hope she's not calling. She's not going to talk to me for another 6 weeks now for ripping her on the radio.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
Hey, Mike, you got to text Austin her number, and we've got to call her on the air.
Absolutely.
We got to get this sorted out. We got to fix a family here, Mike. This is more important. There's things more important than sports, Mike, and fixing a family is one of them, and we're all here for you.
I'll call her during the break and figure out if she's actually heard our segment. If not, I'm not going to tell her about it.
All right. Anyway,
so what was the question again?
Are you happy or mad that sports betting is going on in Florida?
I don't know how anybody could be mad about this. Billions of dollars in state coffers in a post-pandemic environment where we need the money. Our economy in the state of Florida, because of the tourism industry being shut down for the last year, is not good right now. So you get billions of dollars. And how do you get that billions of dollars? You're making it off of something that's already happening in this state illegally. There's illegal sports betting going on all over this state. 21 other states currently have sports betting. All of your other states are making money on this. Why should the state of Florida not? Of course you should be happy about this.
All right, little advice. If you're happy about this, then great. When you get a chance to bet on a sports game here inside the state of Florida, take advantage of that. If you're not happy about this, like you're not interested in sports gambling, here's an interesting fix. Don't go in. Don't put any of your money down on the Magic. You don't have to bet. No, this isn't something that's put forth where they're going to drag you from your home and drop you into the sports book and force you to gamble a percentage of your weekly earned paycheck. If you don't like it, don't go. Simple as that.
With 89% of the vote, people are happy about it. 89%. Supplemental poll number 1. In the wake of Orlando Magic coach Steve Clifford testing positive for COVID on the same day he got his second vaccine shot, should all professional coaches and players be required to be vaccinated moving forward? Yes or no?
I realize this is America, and you get to do whatever you want to do. All right, but your business, if you want to work in a business, they also have a right to require you to take certain precautions, all right? If your business can be shut down by a couple of positive COVID cases going throughout your team or your league, and you have to cancel games, and you have to cancel multiple games, that costs your business a bunch of money. So I'm going to go yes, you should be required.
Yeah, I'm going to stop short at the forced vaccinations, but to say, hey, listen, we're only going to have players in the league right now that choose to be vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
And so...
Isn't that forced?
No, I'm not forcing you. I'm not forcing you to do anything, Mike. I'm just saying we are only going to have players in the league that choose to be vaccinated to protect our business interests.
Yeah.
So, you can sit out as long as you want. Let's like in the NFL, they allowed people to sit out. We're going to ask that you please sit out instead in the NBA.
Plus, you get way better cell phone service. It's been incredible since I got my vaccine. 52% of the vote says yes, they should be required to be vaccinated. Supplemental poll number 2. Are you excited that the College Football Playoff Management Committee has at least slightly cracked the door open concerning an expanded playoff? Yes or no?
I think this is groundbreaking what happened on Friday when the college football, was it the management committee, they met and then they came out with their statement, and Bill Hancock, who has adamantly said in the past, Bill Hancock, who's the chairman of the College Football Playoff Committee, he's adamantly said there will be no playoff until the current contract is up in 2025. What did he say on Friday? He said, well, there won't be a playoff this season or next season, and there might not be a playoff until after the current contract is up, but he at least left the door open. That's groundbreaking as to his previous stances. So, yes, I'm ultra excited about it.
I also am excited about it, and the fact that the door's cracked open. Fans, American sports fans, take a lesson from our brethren from across the pond. Our voice needs to be louder. We need we really need to kick that door down and demand at least an 8-team playoff that gives an opportunity to the non-Power 5 teams to get in as an at-large legitimately. We need to be like English Premier football fans, but we need to do it here. We need to be louder. We've said it on radio. We speak in this speaking, but you saw what they did over there. They made change happen in 2 days. Mike, how many years are we working on getting UCF into the playoffs?
Good Lord.
Like 10 years in. Boise, UCF, Utah. Well, Utah got themselves into a conference, so they can go ahead and participate. But other non-Power 5 conference teams, unite. Get your fan voice up.
That's
Make
right.
this change happen.
That's right.
Sean King, Tommy Bowden, and Tulane.
That's right. Yes,
Marshall, Randy Moss, Chad Pennington, Bob Pruitt. How about those guys?
Yes.
We got to march in the streets. Let them know. 79% of the vote says yes. That one really fell flat. Yep. 79% of the vote says yes, they are excited for it. Supplemental poll number 3, is Mike Bianchi right to give himself a goofball for clicking on a story over the weekend with the headline, Boosie Badazz goes off on O.J. Simpson over LeBron criticism? Yes or no?
I felt like Austin Pistolka. I felt like what am I doing? Why am I reading? First of all, I didn't even know who Boosie Badazz was, all right? And I don't care what Boosie Badazz thinks. I don't care what O.J. Simpson thinks. Why am I clicking on this story and contributing to the mindlessness and meaningless stuff that's on social media today? I felt like Austin Pistolka wasting his days away clicking on things.
Come on now, dog.
Yeah. And I didn't even, is Boosie Badazz, is that the same as Little Boosie? What's the difference?
It's the same person, but when you start off, you're Lil Boosie, and as you grow, you get the Lil out the way.
Yeah,
except for Lil Wayne, he's the only one that could.
He was like Pretty Boy Floyd turned into Money Mayweather. You know what I mean? Like that's the growth trajectory of his career. I would just have loved to have been in Mike Bianchi's head as he's reading the article. I want to know like exactly what point in the article, what line he got to. He goes, what am I doing here? Hold on.
It was Boosie. It was Boosie Badazz.
On, man.
Yeah, they showed Boosie Badazz. They showed a video of it. It's just a 4-letter word after 4-letter word, just cursing
like
up a story.
Yeah,
that's him. Was not an imposter.
No.
76% of the vote says yes, you deserve a goofball. Supplemental poll number 4. If you had 100 tries at it, would you bet your life in return for $1 million that you could catch a football dropped 600 feet from a hovering helicopter as Gronk did over the weekend? Yes, absolutely, or nope, not betting it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it took Gronk 4 tries, but again, they pretty much station you where the ball is going to be. I'm pretty athletic, as I told you guys last week. All area second team in baseball, played both ways in football. In fact,
How many years ago was that?
I used to return punts as well on the football team, so I am used to catching high footballs
Currently?
coming down from the sky. Now, if I were Austin Pistolka, The guy who has hands of stone? Absolutely, I wouldn't make this bet. Austin Pistol. There are 3 types of rocks, all right, that are formed on Earth. There's igneous, there's metamorphic, and then there's sedimentary. Austin Pistolka's hands are comprised of all 3 types.
I don't know what you're talking about, Mike. I lotion my hands every night because they're so soft, brother. They're so soft. They are ready to catch this football falling from 600 feet in the air. I will get that $1 million, brother.
You telling me that you're stone cold, my brother?
Listen, as 50% of our listeners already know, I'm so athletic on this show that there's not only would I catch the football in 100 tries, I would actually ask the helicopter pilot, whoever's orchestrating the bet, if I could increase the bet amount by, triple it, and then reduce my opportunities by 2/3. So I'd rather go down to 33 chances, but I want to win $3 million, and I still bet my life on that. Still bet my life I catch that ball.
Get 100 tries. Of course I'm going to catch it once. Only got to catch it one time.
Like, you have to catch it cleanly, or can it bounce off his arms a couple times and he's fumbling around?
It just can't hit the ground.
As long as you catch it. Igneous Pistolka could never catch.
Igneous Pistolka.
Incorrect. Gosh, I so want to go find a machine to throw a ball.
I was about to say. I thought you were about to say a football. It's like no. The helicopter's going to be the hard part here.
No. With 54% of the vote, no, I'm not taking this bet. According to the audience. And finally, the open mic would you rather poll. All right, picture this. You're playing Connect 4 against an emotionally unstable man with an explosive temper, a.k.a. Mike Bianchi. Would you rather take him down or let him win?
Oh. I mean, first of all, it's a silly game.
No, listen, we heard Mike's story last week. He's going to let him win. He's going to let him win 100%.
I mean, I had a guy pull a gun on me for crying out loud at one point. Yeah, I let him win. Did I not let him win with Lisa? Absolutely, I did.
No, I'm going to win because sometimes people need to learn what it's like to lose. Okay, you got to come to grips with that.
Say that when you're staring down the barrel of a 44 Magnum.
Hey, listen, if he's coming after me, I've got these stone hands, apparently.
Wait, time out. The police officer in training had a 44.
He was Dirty Harry. He was Dirty Harry. Absolutely, he was.
This is like a fishing story. It went from like a little.
I'm telling you, it was a 44 Magnum.
He pulled out a 50 caliber sniper rifle.
This was the 38 special. Okay, this was the 44 Magnum, the biggest handgun in the world.
It says Desert Eagle on the side.
And then he said, "Are you feeling lucky, punk?"
78% of the vote says we're going to take him down. Got a bunch of winners over on Twitter.
All right, that is the blast straight ahead. Game balls and goofballs. I've saved the ultimate goofball for LSU. I will explain next on Open Mic. as the women's basketball coach. All right, so that's the game ball, all right? But that game ball pales in comparison to the goofball that LSU is about to receive from one Mike the Bulldog Bianchi, all right? LSU, all right, we all know what happened with the Les Miles scandal. LSU's been struggling to recover from an ongoing sexual harassment scandal involving Les Miles, all right? So LSU announced, I believe this was on Friday. They didn't announce it, but they're set to announce it. It was the news came out on Friday that they are going to ban star running back Darius Geis, former star running back Darius Geis. They're going to ban him from the athletic program. They're also going to cut ties with their longtime law firm. Taylor Porter is the name of the law firm. The decisions are part of, LSU trying to make amends for not doing something 8 years ago. All right? They didn't handle this 8 years ago. So now they're going to ban Darius Geis from the program. I'm not saying Darius Geis shouldn't be banned from the program. He's been charged with 3 separate domestic violence incidents since 2020. He was accused of sexual assault by 2 different women while he played at LSU as a freshman in 2016. A third LSU student also alleged that Geis had taken a nude photo of her without her knowledge and showed the pictures around to his teammates. So I'm not saying Darius Geis doesn't deserve to be banned from the LSU program. Here's my question. Why are they banning him now? Why didn't they ban him when he was playing for the program? You want to answer that question for me, Adam Ritter? Why didn't they ban him then? Ed Orgeron, in fact, was the coach then in 2016. Why didn't they ban Darius Geis then, Adam?
Because there was touchdowns to be scored back then, Mike.
So now that it's not costing them anything, they can ban Darius Geis, right?
Exactly.
Good God. What a... Oh, they're going to expunge his statistics from the record books. Ooh.
That should make those girls feel better.
Yeah. Ooh, they're expunging Darius Geis's... Good God. They didn't fire the football coach when the AD told him to 8 years ago. They didn't get rid of Darius Geis, even though he was accused of sexually assaulting women 6 years ago. But now, here's the other punishment. They're going to cut ties with their law firm that they've had for 80 years, Taylor Porter. They're cutting ties with their law firm because they say that the law firm contributed to the cover-up by not publicizing what they had found on Les Miles. You know what? Maybe the law firm did do that, but I sort of agree with the law firm spokesman. You know what the law firm spokesman said? The law firm spokesman over the weekend said, it's not our job to publicize the findings that you hired us to find. It's your job to publicize it, not ours. Here was the quote. Our firm's attorney made no recommendations about who should be informed of the results of the investigation. Indeed, it was not our place to do so in light of the issues presented by the investigation. So the law firm's saying, listen, we found out the stuff. You can do with it what you want. It's not our job to publicize it.
The law firm's basically saying,
hey, bro, come on now. Dog.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
How about this now? Every school that hires a law firm to do an investigation has to now tell that law firm, hey, I don't care what they said at LSU. If you find something, don't you start blabbing it all over the place. I want to know first, okay? We don't need you publicizing it. That's what I'm hiring you for.
It is unbelievable. LSU is the dirtiest, scummiest, sleaziest program in college football. They still have a basketball coach, by the way, Will Wade. Let's not forget. Will Wade still working for LSU, even though he was caught on tape admitting to bribing players to come to LSU with money and other gifts. But this guy's still the basketball coach. Les Miles was still the football coach, even though he was sexually harassing young college co-eds, inviting them to his condo, trying to kiss them while good God. And now they're banning Darius Geis 6 years after the fact. Good God.
And firing the firm that found all the stuff that they needed to make the right decisions, but because they didn't out that information, which I'm sure had they done it at the time, LSU would have been extremely upset about. Now they're the ones falling on the sword.
Good God. Yeah, the Kim Mulkey